Happy full moon in Leo eclipse, Gemini rising. This is Nicole Marie, your astrologer and coach, guiding you through the cycles of the moon to help empower and to transform your life. So this full moon eclipse is wow. I personally felt the energy last Sunday, so like a week in advance. We have been in a huge eclipse season, and now it's kind of the completion of that. For those of you who know, I have just started writing moon scopes. So this is for each zodiac rising sign. So no, not your sun or star sign, but look at your rising sign. If you need to know more about that, you can contact me or do a natal chart on astro.com. So these moon scopes really look at the cycles of the moon through the week. So the moon changes like 3 or 4 times a week. So that's why we literally live in a cycle that we never can actually feel the same even within a day. So really just this moon cycle helps give kind of life coaching skills, homework, and rituals to help really let you understand how you can use this energy to empower you, where to focus your energy. This is like the most important thing for entrepreneurs, for people that are kind of working in different trends and industries, that we need to sometimes figure out how to schedule our life. And this is like the best way of scheduling and knowing where your energy is going to be most needed. So this full moon in Leo eclipse is going to hit your 3rd house, Gemini. 3rd house is communication, social network, and friends. Since you already love communicating, this is your house to be, my dears. So it's really coming. So full moons are also a time of completion, healing, and transformation. And since eclipse season, it kind of highlights the shadow aspects of our subconscious mind. Or rather, it illuminates the subconscious mind, so nothing is hidden. So a lot of our patterns, our vulnerability, and things kind of arise. So the shadow aspect. And I want to speak to the shadow, because Gemini, you kind of have this always kind of dealing with that twin energy, where kind of you live in a sense of duality. You can definitely experience your life as often going in 2 different directions, where sometimes you feel very peaceful and almost enlightened, and then other times you feel very judgmental and critical and angry, and all these other different sides of what love is. So I want to remind us of what the shadow is, specifically in communication. So when we use more hurtful words, when we use words even to ourselves of self-doubt, lack of confidence, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, these are like collective conscious patterns that somewhere we all kind of relate to. So we all have to deal with some sort of shadow around these words. And also, it's not also what we speak, it's what we listen to. So it's listening to that inner story, the inner critic, or the inner mother or father. So it's whatever this inner dialogue that is going on is also really important to listen to at this time. Listening to it, sometimes not people are really conscious of this process. So a lot of times you can do it through writing, through creativity, through talking to other people. You're like, oh wow, I didn't actually really know that about myself, or that's where it's coming from. That's why talking it out is really wonderful, but you also kind of need to go beyond that as well, and accessing those different parts of you. This is a really great time for inner child work, where you kind of call in that aspect that is still scared, alone, and speak to it. Speak to that inner child that feels lost and alone and abandoned, and see you as the adult taking care of her or him and spending time together, doing something that's creative and fun. So really pay attention to where is your shadow. And the biggest thing of shadow is that it's just trying to find love. It's trying to, often it's like, oh, I want to be seen, or what does it all mean? It means that there's some part of us that needs to be loved and accepted. And often it's ourself that's not loving and accepting of that aspect within ourselves. Other people can love us for it, but we ourselves can't even fathom loving it. Often it's, body identity and body awareness, or, how we haven't been accomplished, or we're not accomplished as much as we want in our life. So just being gentle with yourself, treating yourself as a brand new baby or a little puppy that you just found. And how do you communicate to that puppy when it's scared and alone? Do you yell at it? Or do you give it food and go for a walk and talk sweet to it? Because it's just a sweet little puppy, and so are you. So this is just kind of a nice way to look at how you can, transform this pain or anger or frustrations on yourself and others into something that's more soul healing and uplifting. So the best way to work, you'll probably want to, on this third house, want to share with your social network. So maybe doing some Facebook posts, or, being around friends. You will want to, again, be really aware of your inner story and what skills, what things that you actually want to develop. And we look at this through jealousy. Often is like, oh, when we're jealous of someone, you need to look at what it is that you're jealous about, and then how can you embody that for yourself. That's the only purpose for jealousy. It's not actually for us to belittle it's just to bring to our awareness of like, oh, that's something that I really desire passionately. Therefore, I must do it myself. I must embody those skills. And when jealousy arises in relationships, it shows, wow, I really love that person because I do not want to lose them to somebody. You can't control them, but you can say, wow, this is me loving them, and let it go and try and do your very best to be gentle with yourself. So this is a really empowering time for you to speak your voice, to be heard, to be seen, for your shadow to be seen, to talk to that part of you. So writing, painting, drawing, speaking, and sharing your inner experience. Be around, like-minded people. You can also be on your favorite Facebook group, chatting, doing some cool Instagram stuff, attend an open mic. There's so many, because Leo is the artist. Leo wants to express itself. It wants to express its light and its gifts. So this is a really profound time for you to access that. So now I want to do a little tarot reading for this next lunar cycle for you, starting from this magical full moon Sunday to the new moon in Aquarius. So I'm first pulling the first card, and that represents the overall energy. Now I'm pulling the conflict, and now the solution. Okay, so again, I'm pulling this all live. Have not pre-planned. This is all intuition. So the overall energy of this cycle is reverse 10 of discs. So you may have been working together with people on a project, and something, because all this intense, crazy, powerful eclipse season, you guys may be wanting to get a project out there before it's really ready. Discs is always about work, always about the physical world, and 10 is about community. And because it's reversed, there's kind of a feeling that there's been a breached birth, that something has gone out into the world too soon. Again, this could be a product. This could be, an article or a book or something that you still feel passionately, that wants more development, that needs more concept, whatever that is. And often it's kind of out of our own hands. Like there's like deadlines that our clients need. Maybe you've been working on a website and they have to have it done, and you're like, yeah, but it's not ready and it's full of bugs. Like you just need to prepare yourself for being part of that debugging process, because there's some sort of ending that's happening that's going to start a new beginning around work, around how you interact with your physical life. Because the conflict is reverse shaman of dis. And so this shows that you kind of lack this confidence, or, the group kind of lacks the confidence of their abilities. Probably because it's something you haven't done before and you're trying and you're doing something different. Maybe you didn't have a really strong role model for, strong men that are capable of their gifts and skills in the world. Like this is really important to have strong role models. So many of the male role models are, not very well balanced. So, they kind of overcompensate for things that they have no awareness of. So you just looking at the fact that maybe you kind of feel a lack of confidence in your abilities. And this is okay. And I want you to give permission for this, that you're trying anyway. You're going to go and discover it. This is how creative work happens. A lot of times we get these visions and these insights. We're like, yeah, go for it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to try anyway. This is how all things are created, through trying, through failing, through doing it again, through rebuilding. And it's just focusing on the original vision. So going back to the original vision, and how is it that, you can move forward. Now, by new moon in Aquarius, again, you have reverse sun of dis. So it's all about work, Gemini. And, you're so intellectual anyway. You really want to find a way to harness your intellect into the physical world in a very productive way. Now, you're still kind of going to feel, so reverse sun of dis again is like not really feeling like you have the confidence or the ability, but, again, like I said, you're going to go ahead and try anyway, because it's your passion. It's something that you believe in. And, I just want to say that there's a huge resource of everything in the world. Like Google is one of the biggest resources for entrepreneurs. Like you can look up anything. YouTube is a free school for you to learn new skills. You can have pep talks, listen to inspiring people, Tom Robbins and all these like very, changing your mindset about how you do your work is a really empowering process for you. So this next cycle is a real chance for you to get back to the physical world, get back to work, and look at how you can create better systems, better solutions, and try and have more fun, Gemini. That's also where good work comes from. So if you want to know more specifically of how this full moon energy is affecting you, or if you are, struggling with some aspect in your life, why are you going through all this lack of confidence? What's, where did this come from? How are you actually evolving? Are you doing the work that you're supposed to be doing? This can all be answered in a natal chart reading. I also offer moon work coaching every month, where we look at how each new moon and full moon is impacting you on a very personal level. So again, this is just where your rising sign is being affected, but the moon will also affect so many different aspects. So it's always nice to empower yourself through astrology and through knowing the big why. So, my dears, if you want a personal reading or to ask more questions, you can email me at innerdoorways@gmail.com or learn more at www.inner-doorways.com. Until then, blessed, blessed, blessed be.